welcome to the Learning from Our Mistakes podcast.
Yeah, welcome. We are happy to be here with you.
Yeah, we are. We just before we hit record, we were talking about some of the do's and don'ts of a 1950s housewife and how they are still super applicable today.
like, yeah. Well, we go ahead and do you have it up still? Do you read off some
yeah,
of the
yeah, I still
expectations?
have. Alrighty. Have dinner ready for your husband when he gets home from work. Prepare yourself. It says take 15 minutes to rest so you will be refreshed when he arrives. Touch up your makeup, put a ribbon in your hair, be fresh looking. He has just been with a lot of work weary people. Be a little gay and a little more interesting. His boring day may need a lift.
See? I
Clear
mean,
away the clutter. Like there's a whole list. It's great.
well, I'll tell you what, like on the clear away the clutter, I mean, there's a big difference between the way I was when I came home and the house was a mess versus when the house was picked up and cleaned. And
Yeah,
part of that's
even
because,
for
like,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, like you come home from a stressful day and you walk into what looks like chaos, and it's like all of a sudden I'm a little bit more on edge.
Yeah, that's how even when the kids like so I mean, the last few days we've been potty training, so we've pretty much been on house arrest and like not leaving the house. And so there's just toys strewn across every surface everywhere. And it's just so overwhelming. And for myself, when the house becomes disorderly like that, I feel myself getting more and more stressed out. And so it feels so nice. Like at the end of the night, me and Brandon tried to do like a quick 10-15 minute tidy up of everything, and it just makes it feel so much more peaceful.
Yep,
I love it.
it really does. I mean, that's I was telling Jonathan or Ralph that I'm like, look, had like a week where every day I came home I was just pissy. I was just had an attitude. I said, guys, just look at the clock. Say it's 4 o'clock. Hey, let's spend 10 minutes and do a tornado cleanup. Like they're the only two that have been home. So if there's a mess, it's because it's them. So just
Yeah.
do it. Set a timer for seriously 5 minutes. Like you two boys in 5 minutes can rack up a huge cleaning thing, and then when I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna be cool. Like, holy cow, this house is clean. Let's go get ice cream or something. You never
Yeah.
know.
It's so true. I That's what I try to do, like, before literally, when the clock hits 4 o'clock, I'm like, "Okay, Eliza, pick up your toys. I'm gonna do the dishes real quick. We're making dinner. Everybody get ready. Dad's coming home soon. Let's get pumped. We'll put on some
Yay!
music." Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does make a big difference.
All right. Before we hop into our topics of the day, we
Mhm.
got to talk potty training. Let's talk about how's that going.
Well, today actually went so good. I guess this can be considered a joy of my week too, because there's something just so rewarding seeing your kids being able to like accomplish something that's hard. Like potty training is hard, and Eliza's having a hard time with it. The first day I was like, there's no way that she's ever gonna pee on a toilet. She literally, for the first day, she didn't pee on the toilet until like 5:30, I think. And so that was really frustrating because I'm like, is this ever like, what are we doing? Maybe I need to just wait longer. I have no idea. But now, today, she had one accident, and it was because we were out on a walk and she didn't know what to do. And so she
Was she
just
like doing
peed
the
in her
pee pee dance?
stroller. Well, she
Oh
peed in the
shoot!
stroller, and me and Brandon, like, I looked down and it had just been pouring outside, so I was like, "Did, like, water from a tree fall on her?" No, but it was, like, streaming down the
No.
seat, and we're like, "Dang it." Um, but, like, yeah, today we went to church, and while we were at church, Eliza went pee-pee on the potty and 2 different times. And so she's just doing it. She's doing it so good. It makes me feel so happy. And she every single time she goes potty, she just gets so excited and happy. And like in the middle of church, Brandon steps out with her to take her to the bathroom, and she comes back in and she has like this super big smile and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, guess what I just did?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, Eliza, did you go pee pee on the potty?" And she's like, "Yeah." And so it's just so fun seeing her do it, and she's doing good. So
Awesome.
the first day
I
was
love it.
rough though, but
That's
that is
that's
ancient
change.
history.
That is change. Change is tough.
Ugh, it's so true. But how about we just jump right into this topic? I mean, this is what all that you yes, diving in.
My
We should
Australian breakdancing impression.
yes. You should have like a little beach background on right now so our
Yeah.
viewers can see you diving into the waves. um for this week we're talking about financial lessons that we've learned thus far, and I mean you are a financial guru of sorts, so everybody buckle in.
Yeah, I'm the master of telling people good things that they should do, not necessarily always doing it myself.
Hey, that's what this podcast is for. So the
Exactly.
mistakes. Okay, so what would you say the dumbest thing is that you spent money on?
Um, I mean, I think of like the number of monthly subscriptions that we have. Like Renee and I were just talking about this. She's like, Angel Studios is having like this, sale for something. Like and I'm like, well, all right, sure we can get it if you want to, but I'm like, we already have Prime and Paramount and Netflix and YouTube TV and like all these things. And I'm like, what's another? Like, it just seems stupid at some point. I think,
Yeah,
I think lunches, like that's a dumb thing that I spend money on. Like I don't have, I'm thinking back on like money that I've spent. I've never bought something that's big ticket that I'm like, that was a big waste.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe the car that mom's driving around, honestly, like that might be one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Um, you
Because it's
know,
as a matte finish on it, so you guys have to
well,
wash it by hand.
I mean, part of it's like frustrating because she's having she's had transmission issues with
Yeah,
it.
it's
And so
so
you're like,
frustrating.
that's annoying. Like the car itself, we love, like it's a comfortable car, but I'm like, it doesn't get that good of gas mileage. I'm like, why did I just not tell her to force her to get a Tesla? Like I love my Tesla, and she would have been
We
so
know.
happy with her Tesla too. But anyway, no, I wish I had like, oh yeah, back in the early 2000s, I blah blah blah. I really don't have a look. I grew up the son of a CPA, right? My dad
Yeah,
is I mean, no offense if he listens to this, he's as cheap, he's as thrifty, we'll call it, as you can be. I mean, this guy owned his own business, was doing fairly well for himself, I'm assuming. And like, most of the time he would brown bag it to lunch. When he would splurge, he would go to Wendy's and get like two hamburgers for like $1 each.
yeah,
And so for some reason, like I'm not as thrifty, as frugal as he is, but I'm definitely, there's a lot of things that I like, kind of like I'm pricing things out. I'm like, oh, it might be $20 more for this. I'm like, yeah, but do I really want to spend $20 more? I just get kind of cheap. And there's times where you're like, why didn't I just spend 20 more bucks? It would have been so much better.
yeah. I I was kind of having the same thought process as you on this one, where it's like, I feel like every single time I go out to eat for I feel like me and Brian will go out for dinners if we do. And for the most part, I'm like, why did we even do that? Like, we could have made it at home and it would have been just as good, probably better for you and like all these things. But I mean, sometimes it is fun to go out and eat, but I feel like every single time we go out, I'm like, why did we just spend like $50 on canes? Like, are
Yeah.
you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
The crazy thing for me, like what you said, like canes, you're like, it's not even that good. Like it's not,
Yeah.
like, so to me, I like dining as an experience, and not that it has to be like this crazy thing, but like dining, like, hey, let's go on a date and we're gonna go to dinner. Like now it's not just the dinner aspect, it's the conversation that we're having as the meal's taking
Yeah.
place. And so I'm okay with that. But yeah, if you're like, oh, we're just running around, and so let's just pick something up real
Yeah.
fast. And you're like, if we would have just planned and like made sandwiches, we would have spent $3 instead of now feeding all of us Chick-fil-A,
Literally.
and it's costing us $50.
Yeah. I mean, the other night, me and Brennan went to some hot pot place, and that was well worth our money. But it's like, yeah, it's like, what? I don't need to go and get Taco Bell and then end up with the, parasite or whatever, the
Yeah,
diarrhea
seriously.
parasite. It's like not even worth your money or your time anymore. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's the most expensive lesson that you've learned?
So I I think the back in the day, I mean, this is probably looking back now, probably almost 20 years. I would get these incentives, right, based on deals close. Like every quarter, you'd get like an incentive. And
Mhm,
for a while, I was buying Costco stock. And at the time, the Costco stock was trading at like $60, $50, $70 or so. And then it kind of started going up a little bit more. And so I would just buy a share, like a quarter, like not even that many, like a 1 to 2 shares, just because and then for some reason I stopped. Like I stopped at 16. Like I don't know why. I bought 16 shares and I'm done. Like it probably got like to a point where it's like, oh geez, it's a lot, like it's not $70 anymore. Now, now it's $150, whatever it was. And so maybe I couldn't afford it. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I stopped buying that stock. And anyway, now you fast forward like 20 years, that stock's worth like earlier this year was in the low thousands. Like I think right now it's like around 950, 960 a share or whatever. And I'm just like, why did I buy 16 shares? Like I could have easily bought 50 shares, like I could have bought more at a time instead of. And so I look at that and then not even just that, like any stock, like why did I not just buy more and consistently buy more and hold on to it? Because that could turn into real money.
yeah, I remember I think it was the other day, you told me that something along the lines of, like, you wish that you weren't as afraid to spend your money on things that are important, like buying a house. You'd rather buy the more expensive house and not have to I don't like, just putting I don't even know what I'm saying, but just buying the more expensive thing because in the long run, it'll benefit you more.
Yeah.
Uh,
So like, yeah, soon you're going to be in the position where you guys are going to buy a house, right? And so you're going to be looking at it and you're like, oh my gosh, like, can we afford a $400,000 house? And so like, or whatever it is, right? And so you're going to be looking at it and you're going to be thinking like, okay, our monthly payment says, oh my gosh, it's going to be so much. Can we afford it? And what I would say is that within reason, buy like max out your house purchase. So the most that they will give you, buy that. Now make sure it's the house that you like, you love it. Like
mhm.
don't just like it, but you love it, because you could be thinking like, all right, if we had like imagine right now if you had 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, that'd blow your
Oh,
mind,
yeah.
right?
It'd blow
Like
my mind.
you'd be like, we're in 2 bed, 1 bath, then we got 3 beds and 2 baths, like that.
Yeah.
But like if you spend like $25,000 more, well, maybe now you can get a 4 bed, 3 bath, or you can get an extra car
Mhm.
garage or whatever it is, because you're going to have more kids. You're going to need bigger space.
Yeah.
And so if you think of like, oh my gosh, it's $50,000 more, like that's like another $250 or whatever it is. Yeah. Right now it might hurt, but when Brandon gets his raise, when, you do a homeschool kindergarten thing or whatever, like all of a sudden it means nothing because you guys made more money. Meanwhile, your mortgage costs are fixed. And
Yeah.
so it's what that might mean though, is it might mean in the short term that like your friends are going on vacation and you guys are not,
Mhm.
because you've spent more on the house. And so that means you have to say no to maybe the eating out or to the vacation or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, like, you have to make sacrifices for what you want. But going back a little bit to the question of, like, the most expensive lesson that you've learned, um, for me and Brandon, right before Brandon moved up here to Utah, he ended up buying a brand new truck, and he was it's like, at the time, it's like, "Oh, man, this is so cool," but even now, Brandon's like, I would trade my truck in for a with a heart like, for a heartbeat with a for a little beater car. He's like, "I don't even need this truck." And
Yep.
so, it's always hard because being trying to I don't know, listen to advice of parents and stuff like that, but I don't know, you don't always know exactly what it's like
Well,
until you put yourself into that situation. But now we know it's better to buy a used car within your means instead of like pushing it to now you're having to pay some $500 car payment every single month and you're like, "Oh my gosh, when is this going to be over?" When you can be
yep.
putting that $500 towards a lot of other things.
Yeah. So I'll say this. So emotions play a huge role in our purchases. and
Mhm.
which is crazy, right? Because it's like we all think we're logical about this stuff, but like, why did he buy that truck? Like, why did he need that truck? Why did he need a brand new truck instead of a used truck? And there's an emotion to it. Like, there could be some family peer pressure. The dealer's definitely pressuring you. You test drive, and you're like, dude, this thing's nice compared to what I'm driving,
It's yep.
and you're thinking like, oh, I can. It's not that big of a payment. I can afford it. And so you got these emotions that then overtake your logic to where you make this decision that you're now down the line. You're like, that was a poopy decision.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that father-in-law that says, I told you so. So I'll just say it, I'll say it a different way. But like, I remember him coming and talking to me and asking me about like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a new car. And I just remember saying like, dude, just go on like Facebook Marketplace and just find the cheapest, the best looking $5,000
Yeah.
car that you can buy. Like a Honda Civic, a Honda Accord,
Yeah.
you know, a Nissan Sentra, like something that whether it looks good or not, it has good bones. Now, what you don't know though is like if you did buy that Honda Civic or something like that, like right now you could be in a situation where Brandon's like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is breaking down all the time. You know, I just had to put in a new
Mhm.
like so when you're buying that used car, like you don't necessarily know what you're going to get. Are you going to get one that's going to be
Yeah.
good for you or are you going to get one that's going to drive you nuts? But even then you're like, "Oh, we only spent 5,000 bucks on it. Like, all right, let's go buy another one for $5,000 and we can sell
Yeah.
this for
Yeah.
two." So
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Buying cars is hard. S
yeah, and that truck, like that truck is it's an anchor around your neck right now. I mean, you'll come out of it
Yep.
soon, but and it's like it's funny too. You're like, who cares? Who cares what you like? Does the air conditioner
Yeah.
work? Does it get you from point A to point B? Who cares?
I know. It's so true. And similarly, have you ever gone into debt for something that you've regretted?
So I would again on this one. I'd say I really haven't. We're pretty debt adverse. The only debt we have is mortgages and cars. I pride myself that I've never paid a penny on interest on credit cards, and so I like one of the things I learned in a finance class or whatever was just like the most powerful force in the universe, if you want to get nerdy, is compounding interest. Now, maybe you could go like, well, there's like God or whatever, but we'll take that out of the equation. Other than God,
Yeah.
the most powerful force in the universe is compounding interest because it work when you're earning, it works for you and it's wonderful, but it can be just as daunting on the other side of it. And so if you are spending today's, you're buying today's meal with tomorrow's dollars, like it's just not a smart way of doing things. If you can't afford it, then don't buy it. Like if you're trying to figure out where to start, like Dave Ramsey, he's a great resource. Go to his website,
Mhm.
read one of his books, listen to his radio program. I mean, he's full of great advice on how to budget and things like that. But really, if you, I remember one of my siblings, they'll go nameless, but they wanted to impress a girl, and so they went on a date. He got a credit card for that date, spent like 200 bucks on dinner, you know, probably had to buy a new outfit for it, some other stupid stuff, whatever, maybe flowers, whatever. And so you're like, okay, so you spent like 300 bucks or whatever on this date. First of all, I think it was like a first date, which is like, okay, blows my mind.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Like first impressions are like this total fake experience, but whatever. Um, but then like when you're making that minimum payment of like 15, 20 bucks a month, like that $300 date's going to end up costing you like $500, $600. It's just stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like, me and Brandon have done really good making sure that we don't have any student debts, which I like any student loans or anything, which I think has been super awesome because we when once now that I'm graduated, like we don't have anything that we have to pay back or work on, finishing. It's like it's already been paid for. So that's something
That's
that
huge.
I'm proud of us. What do you feel like is something that people waste money on?
So we kind of alluded to this earlier, but I would say, I mean, the amount of money that people waste on food is befuddling to me. Now, look, I'm kind of guilty on that. So, but honestly, like Renee Brown bags it most of the days. I'll go out to eat, but a lot of times it's with clients or vendors or business partners taking me out, and so
Mhm.
I'm not spending my own money on a lot of my meals. But like your generation, not only do they like go out to eat too much, they're so lazy that they pay for it to be delivered. And so like the McDonald's that would cost you like 10 to 12 bucks, now you got to pay your Uber Eats or whatever. And then you got to tip the guy.
Yep.
And so you're spending 20 bucks for something that should cost you 10 to 12. Like that's just stupid. Like that is a terrible behavior. There's a guy, I can't remember his name. He has his own podcast. I don't know who goes on this, but they like go on this guy's podcast and they like bring their financial problems and he like kind of helps break them down. And he asks these questions. He's just belittling to him.
Yes, I've seen this guy.
He's
I think his
great though.
name's Caleb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's phenomenal. Absolutely love him. And he says like all kids like your age. He's like you guys all say like, oh, we can't afford a house and all this stuff. He's like, you can. It's just you have all these expenses that don't need to exist, like you're eating out, your entertainment, and then it's also like the home that you're looking at, like like a buddy of mine. He has 6 siblings. They grew up in a 3 bedroom, 1 bath house right
Yeah.
down by your old Cadwal or Hyde Park. That's where he grew up by Hyde
That's
Park,
crazy.
and so they would have 1 bathroom, and so like he would be taking a shower while his sister and their friends are getting ready in that same bathroom, and then he's like, "Hey, I got to get out of the shower," so he turn off the water. They like, "Okay, we got to get out so we can dry off," and but like people just made it work, and now it's like any starter home has to be like 1,800 square feet, have a walk-in closet, and have all this stuff. You have to have all these flat screen TVs, and anyway, so we we've you can't afford that when you're spending hundreds of dollars a month on eating out, like the daily Starbucks run that people do. You're like, oh, I deserve this. This is me. Like, dude, it's like $5. Like you're spending $5 on a drink. That's Don't drink your calories. Like that's health. This could be a different discussion. Like you're spending $5 a day every day on a drink, and then you're going to go get lunch, and then you might have to eat out dinner. It's like you're killing yourself. Yeah, no wonder you can't afford anything.
Yeah, it is crazy, like, once you think about and even, like, having Amazon, there's so many things that you're like, "Oh, this is let me just buy this, like, it'll be delivered right to my house, perfect, don't even have to pay for shipping, next, okay, add this, okay, next, next, next," and eventually you're just like, "Wait, I don't even need any of this stuff." I saw there was a reel on Instagram. This lady is like, "We live in a world where we are bombarded with something that and we are told that this is what we need and we have to have this." And so then we just go and we buy it and then it just sits and you don't ever use it. And then eventually you get rid of it or you throw it in the trash or whatever. And then it's like a waste of money and everything because you don't even actually need this item. Like I this happened to me just the other day. We're potty training Eliza and I was like on Instagram I saw that there's like this foldable toilet seat that I can bring, like a potty seat for Eliza. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this will be perfect for Eliza because then she can have little handles to hold on to in a public restroom." And literally this week we've gone out 2 or 3 times. I forgot it every single time and she's gone pee in the public restroom without it every single time. Like I did not even need to spend my $15 on this, and now I can't return it because I threw all the packaging away and like I completely opened it and everything. So it's like,
I bet you can still return it,
what
just
am
so you know.
I'll have to try. I'll have to see if they'll give me a refund for it. But it's like, why did I waste my money on this thing that like 100% we don't even need? So that's
Yeah,
just
Amazon is phenomenal because you search something up, and then all of a sudden it's in your cookies and your browser,
yeah.
and and then you're like, oh my gosh, that would be so nice. It's like, sure, yeah, sure, like it'd be nice if you remembered it, if you use it. Like we bought for Christmas. I got what's that, sous vide, right?
Yeah.
It's a cooking method. I've used it 2 or 3 times. Like it's wonderful. It's like I just don't think about using it. Like it's
Yeah.
great, but I'm like, I also have a Traeger and I have a barbecue and I have a cast iron grill and I have like I have all these different things, and so now I need sous vide on top of it. It's like goodness gracious, like
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
consumerism is ridiculous.
That is I can't remember what the po or the it's like a documentary on Netflix, but me and mom watched it together, and it just talks about, like, the consumerism modern consumerism, and it is just so fascinating about how all of these like websites like Amazon and, I mean, we see it a lot through like Instagram ads or whatever. It's like they just get you to buy, 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 and buy. And then it eventually just becomes a bunch of trash sitting
Yeah.
somewhere eventually in some landfill when there's like these thrift stores filled to the brim with clothes and everything. And
Yeah.
it's like there's so much around us that we can use, but we choose to buy new instead, and it ends up in the trash. So that, I mean, that's a whole different topic, but
Well,
it's
so
it's very
something,
fascinating.
real quick. So something I
Yeah.
was reading earlier is like, okay, if you're trying to budget, one of the things you should do is do a 30-day fast where you don't spend any money for 30 days other than on your food. Like that's like
Yeah.
basically your grocery store, but like
Groceries,
Amazon.
gas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grocery gas. So it's like no Amazon, none of this, no clothes shopping,
Mm.
nothing for 30 days. And what's interesting is when you do that, all of a sudden you realize like my life is no different than when I was buying this
Yeah.
crap on Amazon.
Yeah. It's so true. Okay, so then to contrast, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we do these days, but what are things that people should spend more money on? And me and Brandon were talking about this, and he said our future. Like we should be spending more money on our future, which I 100% agree on. Like instead of putting $100 towards some fast food or whatever, if you put that $100 in a Roth IRA or in your 401k or something, like that'll eventually be way more for you. So I thought Brennan was very, very profound for that
Very,
one.
very wise, Brandon. Kudos to you. Yeah. No, I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. So to me, that's like that's where budgeting and making sure that you're appropriately planning your financial future is important, so that you know, okay, then we're going to put this much in here. Because if you're like, oh, let's just wait till we have money at the end of the month, then we'll invest it. Like you're just not going to have anything, and so you have to say,
Yeah.
I'm. So like there's a great book, Richest Man in Babylon. I don't know if I made you read that one or not. Every principle
I
that
haven't.
so it's usually when I would get gift or invitations for like, hey, I'm graduating, like I would give them that book. And
Mhm.
it's like an $8 book, so I'm really cheap. Sometimes I give money along with it. But it's like everything that's taught in that book, the book was written over 100 years ago, still applies today. And one of the first things is pay your above all, pay yourself first. And so,
Yeah.
I would say pay God. God gets 10%, you get 10%. And you have to invest in
Mhm.
yourself, into your future. So I think that's vitally important that you pay yourself first. Um, Another thing I would say is like, so it's okay to have experiences. Like you need to have experiences. I think sometimes we live our lives in a way that some people are overindulged in their experiences. And you're like, listen, you don't need to go to New York 5 times this year. You're going to be okay if you go like to New York once every few years. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's important that as you go through like a financial life, that you don't exclude yourselves from enjoying your hard work, because you work not for tomorrow all the time. You work for today. And so it's okay to go out on a date with your wife. It's okay to take your family on a vacation. It's okay for you and Brandon to go celebrate when he graduates. Like all those things you need to do, because what'll happen is if you live your life cheap now with this hope of like when we retire we're going to do all these things, the truth is when you retire you're not going to do those things, because that's not who you are. You've become this cheapskate that's so afraid of like your own shadow that you don't have fun experiences. And so within reason, you need to find a way to save for tomorrow while enjoying today, and it's a very tough balance to figure out.
Yeah, I am blanking on the name, but maybe you can remember it. But it was a book, a budgeting book that I read it like probably within the last year or two. Do you remember
I'd
the
have to
name
go through
of the
my Audible.
book? Yeah, I don't remember, but I really liked it because he talks about, like, in your budget, budgeting for fun. And so whether that's, like, the $50 of fun spending money that you can have for yourself, and then you can do whatever you want with it, whether it is going to McDonald's or getting your coffees a few times a month or whatever, but that's, like, your fun money that you can spend without feeling guilty about it, and then you still have, your budget set up so you are saving, for your future or paying your tithing or being able to buy all of the food that you need and gas and everything. So I really like that concept of like you want to save, but if you're like constricting yourself into this box of like I can't spend a cent over my like a cent towards myself, then it's like so rigid and it's so hard to like be excited about your future because you're like, "Oh my gosh, if this is what savings like, I'm never gonna save a single dollar,"
Yeah.
because it's the worst, but so when you are able to, like, go and, like, spend money on yourself, I think it a little bit, it's, like, not up crazy, but yeah.
So real quick, it was funny. It's there back. So I used to get these different commissions, right? So it's like I'd get these
Yeah.
checks, and sometimes they would be really, in my mind, they'd be kind of big, and sometimes they're not as big. But it was funny. Like I had this mentality of like, when I get this incentive check, I need to buy myself something. And the something I would buy myself, it would vary, and it wouldn't even vary based on how much that check was. It's like one time I needed a new guitar, so I was like, I'm gonna go splurge. I'm gonna go buy myself a new guitar. So I spent like 400, $500, bought myself a new guitar. But there's another time, like I got like a pretty good incentive check. I was like, I'm gonna splurge. And this was back before they had like the iTunes subscription, the Apple Music subscription.
Mhm.
And so I went on iMusic or whatever the thing was called, and I bought a song. I downloaded a 99-cent song. That was how I splurged for myself. And so
So
I was like, oh,
Mhm.
that's my song. I now own this.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like the you guys sometimes you have to define what that splurge is going to be, because on one budget it might be, what, I earned a donut, and so I'm gonna go buy myself a $1.50 donut, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. And then for somebody else's budget it might be like, honey, we're going to Paris. Like it's going to vary based
Yeah.
on where you're at financially, and that'll vary throughout your life.
Yeah, for me and Brandon, we go to Chick-fil-A and get ice cream cones because 'cause they're like $2.
Yeah,
So,
nothing
very
wrong with that.
nice. We like those. We like those ice cream cones. Okay. What money advice did your parents give you? I mean, you kinda talked about how grandpa's a CPA, and so you learned a lot of, like you're more frugal because of him. So, is there anything else that you
So I think the thing I learned from them was to be generous. Be
Mhm.
generous with your offerings, right? And so my parents were very good examples to me of, this might be TMI, but and I don't know if this is a regular thing. At one time, Renee and I, this is before I think we had you kids, we went over to their house for dinner, and like we happened to see like this receipt that was out, and I know it was like not left out intentionally by any stretch, and it was a donation. It was like $1,000 to a certain charitable cause, and I remember we looked at it, we're like, oh my gosh, dude, they paid $1,000 towards that. Like that'd be awesome to be able to do something like that. And so that to me was, they taught me, to be generous. um they taught me to stay out of debt, right? Like again, my growing up, like we would go out to eat as a family usually twice a year, right? Once would be when tax season was over. We'd go to the local Sizzler. Who doesn't love Sizzler?
Oh,
um
yeah.
and it was funny, like we'd go, and then like the waiter, or waitress, whoever the server comes out, they're like, "Oh, can I start you off with drinks?" And my dad, as fast as, "Good waters, we're all gonna have waters."
Yeah.
like before any of us was like, "Oh, for root beer," he was like, "Waters." Um, and so, and then the other time we'd go out, and this would just be the boys. Like there's a certain church meeting, like after this church meeting, like once in April, once in October, you just knew we're going to be able to go and get whatever we wanted. So that's the time, like we could get the soda, we could get the milkshake or whatever. Um, and then like maybe like, on the way to California for a beach trip, like we'd go to that McDonald's and Barstow or whatever. But like eating fast food was a privilege. Like it was a very rare occurrence for us. And so, we do more than they did with my kids. But to me, that was something I learned of, like, it's, if I could go buy ground beef hamburger buns and make a better burger in my house for like $5, that what would cost me $25 at the burger joint. So
Yeah, I feel like for me, the best advice I've gotten for you, I mean, you already said it, but the first pay God, then second pay yourself, and then, whatever else you need. But I remember coming to college and I had no idea. I don't know anything about money. And I was just like, you're like, oh, go call this guy and set up a Roth IRA. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I'm like doing all this research, but it's like now I'm just so glad that I've done all of these things and that you guys told me that I should like be saving for my future because I literally would be sitting here with nothing to my name, my future self's name, you know? And so but now I've been able to I've been able to save some bucks in my pocket for the future. So it's
which
been
is
good.
which is seriously what I mean. Like, who knows how long the future is going to last for any of us? Like, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, whatever. Hopefully, I
Mhm.
don't. But I mean, we right now, like, I was just looking at my some of my retirement accounts last week, and I had this epiphany of like, holy cow, like we're if the market continues as it has for the last 40 years, we're in a position that retirement's going to be really fun. Like, we're going to have enough to where we'll be able to live off of the interest and hopefully hardly ever even touch the principal, which means kids can potentially have an inheritance, or we'll just donate it to Ralph because he's our favorite child. And so,
Dang it.
or Eliza, she's our favorite grandchild, or
Yes.
Joshy because he has my name. But but that also doesn't mean like take my foot off the gas and stop doing that. It
Yeah,
means like find other ways that you can, like, money is a tool, right? And if you have it, it can work for you, and if you don't have it, it works against you. And it doesn't matter how much of it you have, it's how much you spend. Like, you could easily have somebody that's making 30,000 a year and somebody who has 100,000 a year, and if you can spend less than you make, you're rich. Because I know plenty of people that make 100,000 a year that spend 120, and I know people that make 40,000 a year that spend 30, and they're one's rich, one's not, and it has nothing to do with how much money you make. It's how you spend your money.
yeah. I really like that. Add that to my list of advice I like from my parents. Just kidding. Um, okay. Well, I just have one thing. This I should have we should have talked about this earlier, but I feel like this might be a hot take, I don't know, but saving for your future or your retirement is most beneficial to your children. Like, yes, it's beneficial to you because you don't have to sit there and work anymore. But also, if all of a sudden you need to be in some home or whatever, your kids don't have to take the financial burden, and there's like a pocket of money that you can lean on. And I don't know. I just was thinking about this the other day of like how important it is that we're also saving for our future so our kids don't have to be like taking all the financial burden of us. So
Yeah, I
and
mean, I've heard of.
then yeah,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was just say
No, no, no.
I've heard a number of stories of people that literally, like, they work their entire lives. They go to the retire. They have like $50,000 in a savings account or something like that. You're like, what are you going to do with that? Like, absolutely. Like, okay, now you're getting Social Security, but they're getting like minimum. So they're getting like $2,500 a month in Social Security, and then you think this $50,000 is going to make any difference the rest of your life? Like, that sets you up for no success in your quote unquote golden years. And it doesn't, it's just a little bit of discipline. It really is saying no to
Yeah.
a $15 lunch a couple times a week.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that. Okay. Has there been a purchase that you've regretted within 24 hours?
Oh, yeah, I know there has. Oh shoot, because I was thinking about this before I was looking at the notes. I mean, again, going back, like, mom's car in a way, I kind of did. Um, it's funny. I remember when I bought my first Tesla back in 2020. It was February of 2020. I bought my Tesla. Loved that thing. And then COVID happened. And I didn't necessarily regret
Yeah.
it, but it was interesting because so COVID happened, COVID hit the fan, and I was like nervous. I was like, is this going to be the end of the world? Like, is this Armageddon kind of stuff? Like, because you just didn't know. And like, you're hearing all these scary news headlines and people dying, and the world population could decrease by 20% or something like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I'm a praying kind of guy. I remember praying and like being like, God, did I make a mistake? Like, do I need to liquidate my 401k to pay off? Like, I had to get a loan for it. Like, do I need to liquidate to pay off the car, to pay off the house? Like, what do I need to do? And I was just had a lot of this kind of anxiety. And I remember just having this like peaceful feeling kind of come over, like everything's going to be okay. And at that moment, like, I immediately stopped worrying about it. And I just knew things were going to work out. I think, like, look, it worked out for us. We're healthy. We're fine. and it just as easily could have been in a different way. But the piece I had was like, even if I did die, I had life insurance in place that would pay for the mortgage off, give Renee some extra money, pay off any debts that we had. So I set my financial house in order that even if something bad did happen, you guys would have been fine.
I really like that. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never heard that story. So COVID's crazy. I still think about that sometimes. I'm like, what was that time?
Yeah, it's
But
a rage. It's a rage bait for me.
oh, I know it is. All right. Well, do you have anything else? I don't. I think that's the end of our questions. So,
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess I'll just say this: is budget's the four-letter word. Nobody wants to do it, and you can get as granular with it. But what I would say is like, there's plenty of apps that can help you track any of your spending. I'm doing this. I'm trying to be more cautious of what I eat right now.
mhm.
Just because as I get older, like my metabolism's slowing down and stuff, and so I'm like, all right, maybe I just need to start finally watching what I eat because I can't just run it off all the time. And it's amazing. I This app I'm using, as I track what I eat, I'm now more conscientious because I'm like, ooh, do I want to eat that? Because I need to get more protein. I need less carbs, and so just the fact that I'm tracking it automatically now makes me more conscientious of what I put in my mouth. The same is true. If you just say, anytime I spend money, I got to go to the spreadsheet. I don't care if it's 12 cents. Like anytime I spend money, I have to go to the spreadsheet and I have to record it and then create your own categories and then just go back after a month and say, holy crap, I spent $500 eating out this month. That's crazy. That's a car payment. That's a fourth of a house payment or whatever. And so I would just say, just if you don't want to like budget because you feel too constricted by it, then just track what you spend and be aware of what you're spending. And then that awareness will turn into this like, wow, maybe I should start peeling back in some of these areas and then or hey, then make more money. If you want to spend more, then
Yeah.
make more.
Yeah, another thing too that has been super helpful for me because I need to do better at just like writing and tracking everything, but it's nice because with our credit card, it'll do like a month recap. And so you can see, oh, in this category, I spent X amount of money. In this category, I spent X amount of money. And so it's nice because it kind of like shows you without you actually having to like write things down, like how much money you are spending in all those categories. And it's kind of my little hack, my budgeting hack,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Well, and something I'd say that you taught us actually that's been really good. And I don't know why it took us so long to do it. Like we're old, but we're not that old. But the online grocery pickup, like not
Game
only yeah,
changer.
right. Not only for the time aspect, but like the stuff you
Yes.
don't buy now because you're not looking at the end cap
Yes.
and like, oh, Oreos are on sale. Like, first of all, I don't need Oreos, but thank you. They're delicious double stuff.
Yes.
Like it's like it saves you time and money by just doing it online. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like every single time if for some reason like forget to put in my pickup order and we have to go in and pick up groceries, I spend $20 to $30 more than I would if I was just doing like a pickup order usually. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm like, I don't even feel like I'm like I don't even know. I don't even know. I just pick up extra things, I guess, but it's my second budget hack.
Yeah.
But yeah, alrighty. Well, anything else, Dad?
This has been good. This is probably when I need to
It's
go
been
back and
good.
re-listen and like implement some of the things I talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like
Same.
there's so much you can talk about, like having an emergency savings. I mean,
Yes,
like
yeah.
so many Americans don't have $200 for like if a tire goes out, they don't have $200 to replace their tire, so they have to finance that. And so, having a couple $1,000 aside just in case, like ideally, you should have 3 to 6 months of cash set
Yeah,
aside. That may or may not be realistic, but that's a goal that you should set on having, and so it's one of those things. Let your money make you money. If you can buy things that make money, that's good. If you buy things that don't make money, that's not as good.
yeah. Well, alrighty. Well, I think that's kind of the rest of the stuff that we have, but you guys have a good night.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, see you.